Yo, what is up, guys? It's the Nightwing at Way of Life Esports coming at you guys with another League of Legends video here today. And we are in the full off season unless you are a team attending the 2021 World Championship. So the usual month for teams and players negotiating is in November after a World Championship because it gives players and the organization enough time to basically negotiate about, obviously, the money they're going to be making, teammates, and the players' overall future goals for the organization they are trying to join. The only thing that can happen right now is if you already are a player on an organization, they could just extend your contract. That's it. Now, two of the biggest Western League of Legends organizations, TSM and G2 Esports. So, as you guys already know, G2 signed Rekkless in the 2020 offseason after Fnatic exited the World Championship by losing to two top esports 3-2. And as you guys already know, Rekkless had lost to G2 ever since 2019. Every single moment he was just losing to G2. Fnatic had won like one best of 5 against G2 ever since they had the Perks roster. So Rekkless thought to himself, you know what? If you can't beat him, join him, which is not a bad thing, right? If you can't beat him, join him. And I even told people this. Rekkless had been with Fnatic for how long? Rekkless had literally been with Fnatic like since 2013. He had left that one summer split to join Elements, but if you just discount that, he's been with Fnatic for like he's been with Fnatic longer than Sneaky had been with Cloud9. He's been with Fnatic for like 9-something years, up until the point where he left to join G2. Now here's some interesting stats for you guys, as I was actually thinking about it. G2 has only won one best of 5 with Rekkless. In 2021 LEC Spring Playoffs, they defeated Schalke, they then lost to Mad Lions, they then lost to Rogue, thus knocking them out. This split, for the 2021 LEC Summer Split Playoffs, they lost to Mad Lions, and then they lost to Fnatic. Yeah.
That's your team.
Yeah. They've only actually won one best of 5 with Rekkless. That is egregiously disappointing. Yes, they finished strong in both regular seasons between the 2021 LEC Spring and Summer splits. They finished first in Spring, and they finished second in Summer. But it was looking kind of rough out there, in that first part of the Summer split. We remember these games. They were looking bad. And also, I know there was a guy who said, they did start picking it up toward the second half. I mean, their caliber of competition they were facing wasn't even good. Their strength of schedule got easier. The reason why they got into that position was because their strength of schedule was really good, really strong, and you start to see them struggle. There were games where Astralis almost beat them consistently, So when you have a roster of Wonder, Yankos, Caps, Rekkless, and Mickey X, right, you want to make sure that roster is either winning titles in Europe and going to MSI, or at least going to Worlds, There should be no rhyme or reason as to the reason why Fnatic should be knocking out G2 and going to Worlds over them. Fnatic
is better.
Yeah, yes, Warren, that is also true. Now, as I want to discuss, a lot of things being brought up will be rumors until things are confirmed. Usually with me, as I started doing this earlier this year and later last year, when something is a rumor, I will put it in the title as a rumor. So that way no one can say we're out here spouting some fake news. It's in the title, it's going to be a rumor. So if you take it as confirmed, you're just fucking stupid. When something is confirmed, I'll make sure it is also put in the title as confirmed. I usually only report on credible news outlets like Jacob Wolf and Esports, so they're pretty credible.
Or
so that's right.
Willow.
Yeah, LEC Willow. He's been actually pretty consistent lately, and we're going to talk about him right now and talk more about G2 as I bring up this article right here. So it is discussing G2 rumor. Nobody is out of G2 yet, and there's still some uncertainty, but we will not see the same combination of 5 players plus coaching next year. Changes are to come. And then actually, sorry about that. Then, what ended up being tweeted by LEC Willow, that Warren brought up to my attention, was actually about Rekkless. And that's pretty interesting because Rekkless had joined G2, for the 2021 season to obviously, be the best team in EU. That's pretty much why he joined, because there's no other team he would want to possibly join. The only other possible team is a team like either Mad Lions or Rogue, but they hadn't really proved themselves yet. So the only other org was, obviously G2. Now, here's the rumor regarding Rekkless. Rekkless leaving G2 is indeed a possibility being discussed, but nothing has been decided yet. Far from it. He's not the only player possibly leaving. So, let's talk about Rekkless first, and then we'll talk about G2. All right, dude? So, what do you think about potentially Rekkless leaving? Do you think he would leave G2, after leaving his long storied organization, Fnatic, after failing 1 year, not making the World Championship? Because he hasn't not made the World Championship since like 2016. He's been consistently going, and he's also consistently got out of groups too, So, do you personally think, because you're a Fnatic fan, do you think Rekkless is leaving G2? Is there a possibility he could?
Well, the thing is, there's a big possibility he can, but I'm just like, right now I'm looking at like the rosters for the teams, and I'm just trying to figure out where would he go. Like, is he better than Han Sama?
Not really. He's definitely not better than Upset. I called that.
Team BDS, we don't know what they're gonna be, so we that's because Schalke doesn't exist anymore. Is he better than Jezu? Yeah, I would say so. That's a fair thing. Is he better than Kabe? Yeah, I can see him going on there. Is he better than Patrick? Yeah. Is he better than
who else is there? Kaiser? No, he's not better than Kaiser.
Not Kaiser support.
Oh my bad. I said Kaiser. Oh my god, my bad. Karzi. He's not better than Karzi.
Well, he's not. Like the top teams are. I feel like top teams like Fnatic, Mad Rogue, they're not getting rid of him. So like, is he better than Jeskla? Yeah, sure. Crown shot? I mean, I don't know about that. That could be up in the air.
I think Rekkless is better. So like, okay, we're gonna have to.
It's probably... a bottom. It's definitely a bottom team that like a middle of the pack team, like an SK. It's anywhere from SK to Team Vitality, because if you get Rekkless, it's kind of either it's a side grade or an actual upgrade. Like XL, that'd be an upgrade over Patrick. SK, that would be an upgrade over Jezu. No offense to Jezu, even though he showed some pop off moments. Like, so, but if Caps is staying, he probably might stay. To be quiet, since Caps is staying, because the thing is, think about on a playing aspect. Like, Rekkless isn't the Uzi of ADCs. He's not like going to take over the game. He's going to play the game, just play fight smart.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Like, he's not like Sven. He's not like Upset. He's not like Doublelift. He doesn't take as much risks putting himself in positions to obviously win the game for his team. Like, he can carry games. He's passive, but he can carry games given if the team structure is right around him. But that's my thing, is that kind of ADC doesn't really work anymore. But Rekkless has shown that it can work. Rekkless has shown it can work. Like, that kind of ADC can work. The issue here is, like, is this the wrong team for him, though? Because no one really thought of this, though, and I said this last year. Is this the wrong team for him? That's why I said potentially, G2 could have succeeded with Upset. Like, G2 needed an actual ADC, not Perks, right? So, I mean, getting Rekkless from their big rival organization, Fnatic, was not a bad thing. Like, that wasn't a bad idea, But they also have to factor in... Yeah, on paper, it wasn't a bad idea. But they also should have factored in, is this the type of style that we want? Because, Rekkless' style was nothing like what G2 was producing. G2 was a pretty aggressive, fast-paced team. Despite them having bad early games, sometimes they were a pretty fast-paced team. Their average game time was like 25 minutes. So, like,
honestly, I would think, okay, so the reason why I say he can stay too as well, Caps is like,
he's done really well with Caps. They've reached World Finals. They've won 2 titles together. he's had success with Caps. It makes sense why he wants to stay with Caps though. You know?
Right, and Caps is a big distraction, right? Because like
Yeah.
Caps roams, Caps gets a lot of he gets a lot of things done on the map,
Hmm.
and you can play through him, like because if they start playing through Rekkless, you're gonna see oh, Rekkless got resources and didn't win, and Rekkless, and it's like
Yeah, back when
that
he
would
was
hurt them.
considered like a cleanup ADC, when he didn't really like actually take over a
Right.
game ever, he would just kind of wait until like his teammates did it for him, and then he would be like your late game insurance policy. So this is my thing. I want to bring up the ADCs we actually have to discuss because this is my thing here, and people are gonna assume like I hate Reckless. That's not true. I like to be honest when I discuss players, though. I'm not biased to any player though, and I like Reckless though. Okay, so ADCs. Is he better than Jessica? Yes, 100%.
Yes.
Is he better than Patrick? Yes,
Debatable.
debatable. Kinda. It's like not that big of a gap though. If Reckless is like a 10, let's just say 10, right? Let's just say he's a 10. I'm not saying he actually is a 10. It's just for hypothetical, guys. Patrick would be like a 9. You know? It's not that big of a difference. Is he better than Neon? For sure better than Neon. Upset? No.
No.
Upset literally just beat him, so it's not happening. Also, I've always said Upset's better than Reckless anyway. Just glad to be proven right on that one. Is he better than Carzzy? Not definitely
No.
not. No. Kabe? Yes. Maybe. Give or take.
Maybe.
Given the
It
team.
depends.
Yeah, like
Depends. Yeah.
Kabe didn't look
It's
that
a real.
bad, honestly, in his Misfit series, and most of the split, honestly. Kabe was pretty darn solid, actually. Hansama? Okay, let's not even discuss that one.
No.
There's no. Who's the support for SK game? Or sorry, ADC. Jezus? Yeah. Jezu. No, Reckless definitely is better than that guy. Crown Shot? Eh. Crown Shot created a lot of advantages for himself, you know, on Team Vitality this year when he was on their roster. So if you look at all of the ADC names we just mentioned, guys, he's not even really better than most of the ADCs in the league right now. It's not like back in the day where he was by far and away the best ADC. You know.
Yeah,
Also, you know, when Sven came into the league, I thought Sven was better, and it was shown Sven was better because he literally beat him every single time. You know. So ever since Sven came in, there's been debatable ADCs to Hansama came in and looked pretty darn good. You know, like let's look at these names just a quick minute. There's no one really. He's probably better than like two other people just outright, which would be like
he's better
Neon,
than Jezu.
Neon and Jezu, right? Just Neon and Jezu.
Yeah.
He's pretty much just outright better than Jessica,
And Jessica.
Jessica, Neon, and Jezu. Yeah.
The thing is though, like let's say he goes on like SK, right? And SK gets like him, and I know I remember during the boot camp in China on the super server, he duo queued a lot with Rekkless treats. So the thing is what's SK game missing? Veterans, right? Like
Yeah.
Gen X is
Yeah.
Gen X is their franchise player for the most part, right? He's
Mhm.
been there the longest. He's been reliable. He's put up pretty good stats. Blue is up and coming. Lilip and Treats, we don't know what the situation. So like that would make SK, I would say, a top 5 team at best. Like take that top 5. It'd be a fight for the top 5 at 5th place
yeah.
spot.
Hmm.
Now,
because that's my thing
Astralis, he would have to get rid of Promise Q. And
too. You know, Reckless is not playing with Promise Q for sure.
Right. They would definitely accommodate Rekkless. So like,
Yeah.
would that'd be a big upgrade for those two teams. So you got to look at it that way. Like, which teams would he be like
A super
fit in
benefit.
well?
Yeah, and the thing with Reckless is no one likes to bring this up. You have to accommodate for his play style, right? You can't just he's not really a plug and play player. He has a specific way he plays the game, and the team around him has to be all in on that style for it to really work out, like the Fnatic rosters did. So I know we're not gonna have Schalke, and let's be honest here, we don't know where the Schalke players are going, but like he's out of all the ADC players that we named off in this video, right? He was only better than like 3 people. Guys, we're not just being mean. He legitimately did not look that much better than Patrick and Crown Shot.
And he had Mickey X by his side.
Yeah. And I get it, you know, bot lanes are 2 people, you know, yeah, it has to be like in sync. But even now just moving on from Rekkless and just talking about G2 as a whole, let's be honest here. G2 did not play good this year. Those playoff series were just abysmal. Outside of even the Schalke one that they won this year.
That's your team.
Was just terrible. Like, I know a lot of people are talking about, like, what roster changes could they potentially make? Okay, so what roster changes could they potentially make? Okay, so, but we also have to discuss, these players did have success with G2. These players have had success with G2, and then basically after 1 year of failure, they would be getting rid of them. And what I would say to those people is that, because I know that that's gonna get brought up in the offseason season.
That's not, no. They've been descending.
That's sports.
Been descending
What sports anyway?
Yeah, but they've been descending since Worlds
2020. 2020, I'd say. They were still. It's hard. No, you're probably right. It's like
like 2019, because when they lost the finals, they got figured, because everybody had G2 to win the finals, remember?
Yeah.
And then they got figured out by a team that didn't make MSI.
Okay, so I'll say this: when was a moment you started to know the entire team struggling, though? Right. So for me personally, it was It was 2021 LEC. No, it was also this split, right? But another big outlier split was last year, the 2020 LEC summer split, right? Remember, if they did not beat Rogue when they did, they were not going to make playoffs. They were all playing bad. Like, the only good player at that moment, and up until, Worlds 2020, was Wonder, actually. And I know people are going to be like, well, they were really successful, on G2. It'd be kind of disrespectful if G2 kicked these guys after 1 year of failure. Everybody, there's no feelings in this shit. There's no feelings in this shit. Who cares what they did in the past for G2? What are these players doing now for G2? Nothing, because they haven't done shit all year. They've been not good all year. I like G2. I'm also a fan of G2 like I'm a fan of Cloud9, but I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you guys, It doesn't matter what they did for G2 overall. That doesn't matter what happened last year, 2020, 2019, or what happened in 2018 when they had Jankos and Wonder. Wonder and Jankos have been on this organization since 2018. They won their first title. Wonder and Jankos won their first titles on this organization, right? But, dude, Jankos picked it up. Jankos was the only true good player on G2 at a certain point now. He played bad in spring, but he picked it up in summer. He really did. He played solid,
I'll tell you when G2...
when you started to notice just a complete when
Fnatic beat them,
yeah.
When Fnatic beat them in the semifinals to get to the finals,
you saw a noticeable dip in quality in their gameplay.
Right.
Okay.
The fact that
that's when Nemesis and Selfie were still on the org, right?
Actually, no. It started back when Mad had a Rome and they beat them. That best of 5.
You're probably right. You're probably right.
That's when it really started.
Yeah.
That's why I said it started. That's why I said after
it started
the
last
finals,
year. Yeah, it started last year in spring.
It started in 2020.
Yeah.
It started in 2020.
Remember, if Caps didn't steal that Baron on Syndra against Rogue in that one game, they would have not made playoffs. They were just gonna be out. That's some scary shit right there. With the Rome and fucking Shadow, they knocked out G2 to the losers bracket. I think that was in spring when they had Caps ADC. So, I could see G2 making changes. Guys, let me break this down one more time before we head out of this. We work on another piece of, off-season content for 2021. So, Wonder's been with G2 since 2018, right? I think it's time he needs to change. You know what I mean? He's been for org for a long time.
Yeah, but now, once you bring up Wonder, you gotta bring up that screen again, because, let's see, where would Wonder fit in on a team?
That's true. Yeah, let me bring it up right now. Or even Jankos, Mickey X, all these players have won with G2, right? These players have had success with G2. But people would let the success blind them to what the problems are now. Doesn't matter if they had success with G2 in 2018, 2019, 2020. It doesn't matter now. We're in 2021. They didn't make Worlds, right? You need to change something. Why would you run the same roster back? When it was clearly shown this year it's not going to work out. And I'm not saying if they did run it back it wouldn't work out, but it's very, very, very clearly shown It's not gonna work out. We have enough games to see that, right? So people would say, well, they got first and second place in the regular seasons, right? That doesn't matter. That doesn't really matter at all. That's par for the course.
I mean, TSM got first place and they didn't make Worlds.
Yeah,
but
like,
to be fair,
mm-hmm.
TSM doesn't have the caliber of players that like
G2 have.
They have pretty good players, but not like G2 players.
So, like, if you're looking at G2's players right now, right? Okay, so if you want to replace Wonder, there's a pretty good, sizable players you could replace him with, right? But, there's a big but here. It's different now in Europe compared to what it used to be. Fnatic and G2 just can't get the best players. Well, Fnatic usually kind of, like, develop their own players, but let's just use G2 for an example, right? G2 just can't allure and attract the best players right now because it was clearly shown. Mad and Rogue were clearly...
And Misfits.
Okay, Warren's just a big Misfits dick sucker.
No, but like, but like, I think the thing is, the thing is like, the reason I said Misfits, so I was gonna also say Excel too. Like Excel's like Excel
I'm talking more along
a lot of teams.
Like, I'm talking more along the lines of, like, their name is not going to instantly attract players because it was very shown this year they're immortal and they can be defeated. And the only other orgs to really challenge them were, you know, Mad Lions, who just won back-to-back splits, went to MSI, almost defeated Damwon to make the finals of that event. Rogue also were, like, first and second place in the regular seasons too, and they lost to Fnatic. So if they're trying to change out players, because we'll have other player news too, like, I don't know, honestly, like, would these other bigger orgs give their players to G2? Because when you're giving a player up, you also have to get something in return, you know? I don't see Mad Lions making any changes, honestly. I don't see Mad Lions making changes at all, especially with the news we'll talk about later on, actually.
I could honestly see Armut, not gonna lie.
Okay, so, like, if I'm talking about G2...
Because let me ask you a question. If you had Broken Blade instead of Armut, that's an unstoppable team.
That's actually really... Man, they're even better. They're actually even better of a team. That's even scary to think about. But Armut's actually pretty good. That's the thing. It's like, if you're talking about G2, you have to kind of look at it this way. Like, Wonder played pretty bad all year. They're most likely going to get rid of him. Jankos has been with the organization since 2018. He finally had success with them. But... he's not the best jungler in EU like he used to be. You know, we'll talk about Caps in a separate video, but, you know, Caps is staying for another year. He's sending his contract for another year. Rekkless, we don't know about, came to G2 to quote-unquote win Worlds. Obviously, didn't even go to MSI or make Worlds, so that's going to be a big disappointment for him. You also have Mickey X, who played, like, pure dog shit most of the year, right? I can't really judge coaching staff because I'm not really, you know, I don't have inside information on how they coach the team, how they approach the game, what they've been telling the players, and, like, what their overall strategy is. So, you know, that's just pretty much my thing, you know, on G2. There's a lot of decisions they could make. It's like, who would they want to obviously choose? Because they've already proven through confirmed articles they're choosing Caps, right? But does that mean you automatically run with Rekkless, actually? I don't know. I don't know, actually, you know, because, you know, these players on this organization for this roster have extreme expectations, though. G2 has been the best European organization for quite some time in League of Legends, right? Along with Fnatic. And when they're not making Worlds, that's a big, big disappointment, though. And, you know, like, we have to look at the present right now and then not look at the past as a big detriment to all those things. Wonder's not been playing good. You need to replace him. Jankos is solid, but let's be honest, you can find a better jungler than Jankos. You can find a better top laner and jungler for both their spots. Caps still has potential to obviously win more titles in EU. Like, it was still shown, even when they lost to Mad Lions, that Caps was doing very well against Humanoid. Like, he's still not a bad player, but he does have his bad moments, so Rekkless' style just doesn't really fit with G2. He's not the player they need. Mickey X has also played like dog shit this whole year, but usually was regarded as one of the best supports in EU, but that is also in the past. Coaching staff, they've had grabs for, like, since 2018. He's definitely going to try and find another organization. And Nelson literally just got here for G2 in the summer split of the 2021 LEC summer. But, you know, we'll see if they keep Nelson. That's the question mark here. But, you know, that's pretty much it on the rumor that Rekkless is potentially, leaving G2. It wouldn't surprise me though. They failed this year, but that is pretty much it. Anything else you want to say, man, before we close out of this actually?
On Wonder and G2 or
Yeah, just Rekkless potentially leaving, and what could like G2 do to rebuild now that they did make Worlds for the first time? Because Carlos has talked about like coming back stronger, so he's not going to keep the same team. There's no real reason why you should if it was shown all year in playoffs, because playoffs is what matters, right? It was shown in playoffs where the situations really matter, where you have to win. It does not work between them. Synergy is just not there. It's just not the way it was when they had perks. So anything you want to say on these two things, Rekkless and G2, combination of both?
I think they might need to invest in one or two rookies if they're not.
Yeah, because it's going to be hard getting some star
because
players, though, from the other organizations. That's the thing. Unless those players actively want to leave those orgs. Unless they do. That's the thing.
right because Mad Lions has invested in Kaiser, Humanoid, and Carsey, right? And Rogue invested in Larson,
Inspired.
Inspired,
Yeah.
Hansama, and even Trimby now. So,
Mm-hmm.
and they got one veteran, which I think Odawane was better than Finn for the most part, except in the playoffs. I don't know if there was a mental breakdown.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, both of them achieved the same thing for Rogue, not winning shit, so. All right, guys. That's pretty much it. I thought I'd get the big first one out of the way. That was the big rumor being discussed, is that Rekkless is potentially leaving G2, and G2 making some big off-season moves for their LEC roster coming up for the 2022 League of Legends season. But that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Like, comment, subscribe. Most of all, enjoy. I am the Nightwing, and Way of Life Esports is signing out, guys. Peace. Have a good day. See you guys later. Deuces. We're out this thing, man. Peace. See you guys later.